Hey guys, Lathander here, and today I'm going to be talking about Tera Online, the brand new MMO from developer Bluehole Studio, published in North America by En Masse Entertainment, with Frogster Interactive handling the publishing in the EU, and distributed by none other than Atari. Let me start by saying that while I did have some complaints about Terra, on the whole I found it to be enjoyable. The world is visually impressive, and rightly so, since it's running the Unreal 3 engine, and the gameplay is, well, pretty standard. Let's jump right in. Character creation is, on the whole, pretty straightforward. First you pick your race, then you pick your class. From there you're given a handful of presets to get you started, followed by choices of hairstyle, horns, ears, or miscellaneous adornments based on race, basic face, and finally eyes and facial decorations. All of these are incredibly generic and reminiscent of older MMOs that give very little customization, meaning that there are thousands of characters running around all looking exactly the same. However, they were nice enough to allow us to underpify the character in creation. What do I mean by this? Well, here, judge for yourself. See what I mean? We are then given the option to preview our character in one of 4 different outfits. This was a point of confusion for me at first, as I thought we were being given the ability to choose a starter outfit, but that's not it at all. Instead, this is simply a preview or teaser of some armor that we may or may not get a hold of some point down the road. Finally, we get to choose a voice for our character. This part is pretty much the same for all characters regardless of race and can be kind of ridiculous depending on what you're going for. That's all there is to the character creation and customization. I can honestly say I was hoping for more since this is a modern AAA MMO title. In this regard, Terra has taken a couple of steps back when compared to other MMOs such as APB, Ion, and Guild Wars 2, where there are slider controls for many different aspects of your character's overall appearance, instead of just the face. The races are all fairly unique, with the exception of the classic human and elf. There are, altogether, human, Castanic, Aman, Papori, Ellen, Baraka, and Elf, which is a Whoa, wait a minute. Did I really just... Yup, that's what I thought. Half-naked, wide-hipped, 8-year-old girls with animal ears and tails. Really, Korea? Really? Come on now. That's not cool. Yeah, I tend to gravitate towards the healer support classes, and usually they end up being the cutesy female character types, so I like the Ellen in that regard. But come on, guys, give me some real clothes for my character here. Believe it or not, but this is better than it was in the Korean version. The bottom row is honestly how they should look. When the game left Korea, the publisher said, "No way, they look too young to be wearing that, fix it." And Blue Note did exactly that. Unfortunately, they really copped out big time. Their solution was to give all of the Ellen the same recolored pair of short shorts instead of properly fleshing out the armor. Blue Note has stated that they're not going to waste any more time on this, so the chances of something more substantial and unique coming down the road are unfortunately slim to nil. But I'm still hoping they decide to put some actual effort into it, considering that's what the player base wants to see. The first time you start the game, you're dropped into a basic prologue setting, and surprisingly enough, you start the game at level 20 with a full complement of skills according to the class you chose. Now, unfortunately, you don't get to keep either the levels or the skills after the prologue, but that's besides the point. And a point of note, if you decide to create an alt, you are given the option to skip the prologue altogether and jump straight into Newbie Island. In the prologue, you were given some backstory explaining why you're here and what's going on, but unless you're really interested in Terra lore, it'll probably be the usual click the quest giver, click the offered quest, click next, click accept, and off you go deal, because really, who reads quest text? The quests in this area are all your run-of-the-mill career quests. Go talk to this guy, now go talk to that guy, now go over here and talk to this other guy, until you get far enough down the linear path that you get into some of the actual combat. From here, it's a handful of small fry enemies until you meet up with one of the story characters named Elion, not to be confused with the little Cuban boy from Robot Chicken. After beating down a swarm of bad guys alongside Elion, he breaks through a bunch of rocks that are blocking our way with a single swipe of his sword, then stops to chat with some of his buddies. After that, we're off down the road to help the nameless guards that are down there getting their asses kicked by that big thing while we were talking. After a potentially painful fight, some big dude drops out of the sky and a cutscene quickly ensues. It's at this point that we transition to the Newbie Island to find we've been reduced to level 1 with no skills other than our left click spam attack and a class-based skill placed by default on our right click. What a tease, I swear. Combat is a mix of old and new. Think Dragon's Nest meets World of Warcraft, and you've got the Terra combat system in a nutshell. You're perpetually stuck in a third-person mode with your mouse controlling your targeting reticule, so you will actually have to aim your skills. There is a little bit of skill to it. You'll know your left-click attack will hit when you see a ring show up around the reticule, and after some trial and error, you'll get the hang of aiming your activatable skills as you unlock them. Sometime around level 5 or 6, you'll get a class-based dodge skill, unless you're a melee class that starts with it, or your class blocks instead of dodging. Some classes get the ability to roll in the direction they're facing, or a direction designated by keyboard input, some dodge straight backwards, and some have a teleport. By some, I'm talking about the Mystic, which is pure awesome. These dodge skills are not only useful in combat, believe it or not, they are, for almost all classes, a means of speeding yourself up as you get from place to place. I find the Mystic has the best time of it. Think of their dodge skill as the World of Warcraft Mage's Blink ability. Most skills in this game have a predetermined range to them, but there are some that lock on. Simply activate the skill, pass your targeting reticle over the intended target, hit the skill a second time, and watch as it speeds unerringly at him or her. There are potions in the game, but they're surprisingly well balanced. Healing potions are all over time and on a short cooldown after being used, the standard 1 minute or so, and do not place your mana, stamina, or speed potions on cooldown when used. This is a good thing. I mean, it never really made sense to me that just because I quaffed a healing potion, I couldn't do the same with a mana potion right afterwards. I'm fighting for my life here. What am I worried about? Indigestion? Now, a large attraction to this game for many is the open world PvP system. Let me tell you what I think about this PvP system. It's nothing but a griefer's paradise. Basically, the way it works is this. At level 11, you are given a skill that allows you to flag yourself for PvP. This skill will turn your name red to everyone and allow you to attack everyone. Yeah, you heard me correctly. Regardless of whether you are flagged for PvP or not, someone with a red name can attack and kill you. There is no real penalty for this other than the accumulation of infamy, which I will get to in a moment. PvP in Tera is not restricted in any way, shape, or form by the level of the aggressor or the target, meaning a level 30 character can attack and kill a level 10 character, typically in one shot, with one catch: infamy. Infamy is gained when killing a character significantly lower level than yourself. What infamy does is extend the period of time that you have to wait before you can disable your PvP flag. Since a lot of players like to hunt red names, this infamy system puts gankers in a potentially dangerous situation. Fortunately for them, however, most of these red names like to sit just outside of towns or just inside of towns on narrow bridges that they can pick people off as they attempt to cross for their quests. Since towns and outposts are all non-PvP zones, they can quickly step out, one-shot a lobby, and jump back across the threshold into town, leaving them safe from anyone looking to retaliate. Infamy points are gained very easily and take a long time to get rid of. For killing someone 6 to 10 levels below you, you earn 60 points of infamy. That's 6-0. 11 or more levels, and you gain 120 points of infamy. Infamy points degrade at a rate of 1 point for every 5 real-time minutes. You're also given the ability to work them off 1 point at a time by killing monsters that are your level or higher. The second option is, of course, more dangerous because while you have even a single point of infamy, you're an open target for anyone to do with as they please. But remember guys, it's not the ganker's fault you make such an appealing target, it's yours for being so damn low level. There is a light in the darkness, however, in that each zone is broken into channels, instances if you will. So if you're being griefed by some douchebag 30 levels ahead of you, simply swap to a lower channel and continue with your mindless grinding. Most PvPers stick to the channels 1 or 2 as they are typically the most populated. If you're the type that complains about every time they get ganked by a PvPer on a PvP server, be sure to roll on a PvE server and save everyone the headache. Tera Online does not have your typical named mobs, or elite mobs, that most MMOs use for their standard, more challenging fights that may require you to bring friends. Instead, Tera has what are referred to as BAMs, or big-ass monsters. Unfortunately, I haven't hit a point in the game where I've run into any of these monsters, but I have heard the fights can be rather epic, much like this Starter Island boss fight here. It is also possible to solo BAMs if you're good enough with blocking, dodging, and or kiting. The crafting system is, well, the same crafting system we've been dealing with in nigh every MMO. Purchase or find crafting patterns, gather the materials, click craft all, and go make a sandwich. absolutely nothing new to talk about here. Fuck! Yeah, there is one major point of annoyance. Every time someone somewhere in the world enchants an item to +6, the game throws it in your face with a chime that quickly becomes obnoxious to the point of being infuriating. There is no way to turn this message off. Unacceptable. Tera Online's graphics are superb and the environments are breathtaking, so for those out there who want something nice to look at as they explore and fight their way through the world, Tera has that in abundance. The game overall is an enjoyable experience. The combat may be repetitive and seem clunky, and the PvP system is broken beyond belief, but this only detracts from the overall experience in a small way. Yes, the questing is still nothing but kill X of Y, collect X of Y, and escort courier quests, and you're more than likely going to get ganked while you try to bang off the quests in your log, but if you can get past these facts, it can be fun. Speaking of escort quests, in Tera Online, they suffer from the usual problem almost every escort quest in every game has ever had. Alright, mate, let's do this. I've got your back. Really? Oh my god. Move faster. Faster. Why do escort quests always have to move so freaking slow? Like, come on. The community seems to consist of a small portion of mature players who are willing to help newbies and answer questions, and a vast legion of trolls and douchebags that will flame into the ground anyone who dares complain about the fact that they were just one-shotted by that player 37 levels up on them. Overall, I have to say that the game doesn't really seem to me to be worth the $15 a month sub fee. I'm probably going to pick it up just as something to tide me over until Guild Wars 2 releases, at which point I'll drop it faster than Kim Kardashian did her fiancé. More than likely, Tera Online will have a moderately successful launch, followed by a large subscriber drop-off that will force them to shift to a free-to-play model in the future. I can guarantee the eventual launch of Guild Wars 2 will cripple their player base if they insist on retaining the pay-to-play model, since, for the most part, the game is bringing nothing new to the table to keep players interested. Only time will tell. Well, guys, that's Tera Online for you. I hope this video has been both entertaining and informative. Please feel free to let me know what you thought in the comment section below. If you liked it and want to see more, rate and subscribe before you go. While you're at it, feel free to look me up on Facebook and Twitter under the following names respectively: facebook.com/LathanderDre and @LathanderDre. Thank you for watching. Lathander out. Move faster. Faster!